The only time she laughed last night, because you're so right about her team, like controlling this cackling, was when she talked about the idea that she might shoot a home invader with her handgun.
We have
and
that.
She laughed.
We have that one. Watch.
When you said you have guns. No, at the debate.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot. Sorry.
Yes. I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
She's not funny. The pretend laughing is so, like, Oprah's pretending to laugh. And by the way, can I just say, I'll let you finish your point on the gun, but the Oprah affect is done. It's so over. Her fake, like, I did not know that, right? Like, she's leaning into this, like, homegirl, like, what? I learned something. And her yelling, she yelled at us all night. Oprah was yelling. I'll show it to you in a second. You take up the matter of the gun.
I know. Well, the gun thing is like, they're talking about school shootings and gun violence in America and all of this stuff. And Kamala, in her great generalities, it must stop, blah, 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 assault weapons ban, all the talking points. She could not bring herself, as also this is one of her favorite lines, that which unites us is stronger than that which divides us.
And what has been?
Bang my head into the nearest brick wall the next time I hear it. She could not bring herself to acknowledge that Donald Trump has been the target of 2 assassination attempts within 9 weeks. Talk about gun violence and talk about the pressing need for real, honest conversation. She can't do it.
No.
She can't bring herself to have that generosity of spirit, that sort of uniting thing she wants to bring to all of us. And to your point about Oprah, I was thinking about this because I was looking at those pictures coming out of Diddy's parties historically and the Oprahs and all of these people who pretend that they're not all part of this sort of cabal of people who know exactly what's going on at any given moment. And you're going to sit there 2 days after he was arrested on these incredibly serious charges.
Yes.
The abuse, the ritual, chronic, historical abuse of women. And you're just going to sit there like none of that has happened.
Right.
And we're just going to talk about, I'm Oprah, I'm anointing this one. Let's do this, America. Let's have a confab. Let's have the biggest Zoom meeting ever. That's what she called it. Those thousands of screens. It's
ridiculous.
All such bullshit. And it's just like the hypocrisy is, even Tracy Ellis Ross said something like that when she was sort of dismissive of Oprah. She said, well, you and I just saw each other. And that's the rub. They all know each other.
Yeah.
They all party together. They all see each other. It's like they're in this bubble and they're the power brokers and we just deal with the fallout.
Yeah.
We're the morons who deal with it.
When was the last time Oprah actually spent time hanging out with a working class person in America? She's on her Montecito estate with one of the most beautiful mansions known to man. Mm-hmm. And that is why she did not follow up with Kamala Harris in response to that stupid gun question with, well, you're on camera saying that you favor mandatory gun buybacks. So how would that work? Mm-hmm. Because people are worried about losing their guns when you say that, and you'll have yours because you'll, in this scenario, be the president of the United States. You'll have Secret Service protecting your life. Whose gun are you going to mandate be returned who won't have that kind of protection under a Harris administration? You can craft that question in a number of ways, but it must be crafted if you're an honest broker. She's not. Here's the thing. The Oprah enthusiasm worked when it was genuine. Mm-hmm. When she first hit the scene in like the 1980s and she was fresh out of Chicago, she was in Chicago for the launch of her national talk show. She was something electric and interesting and authentic, you know. I miss fat Oprah. She was just genuine. Now this thin Ozempic Oprah has lost, along with the pounds, her heart, her sense of authenticity. And what we're getting these days is this cleansed elite billionaire version who wants to scrub the record of facts. So it used to work for her to go out there and say like, the Oprah Winfrey Show, Tom Cruise, right? And you'd be like, Tom Cruise, because television was different.
Oh, 100%.
It was just different. You could take that kind of behavior in your living room and it wasn't quite as jarring. I had such a different experience of her last night. The yelling, her quintessential Oprah thing. I was like, what is she doing? This feels affected, forced, and it's making me uncomfortable. We pulled together just a few examples.
Thanks for joining us for this very special event, Unite for America! Hope and joy rising. And there's been can you feel it? You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. We can feel it. Chefs for Kamala, love that group. Republicans for Harris, love that group even more. We've got Swifties, where are you? Swifties for Kamala! I hear Chris Rock is in the house. Chris, where are you? Chris Rock is in the house. Jennifer Lopez, where are you, Jennifer? Yes! Julia Roberts,
She's out making another wrong choice. Julia Roberts.
And Miss Meryl Streep is in the house. Please welcome Kamala Harris.
Do you see my point? That's enough of that. About how it feels off, given the way we talk to one another, do news with one another, break stories with one another in 2024 America. We do it via podcast. We do it sometimes on cable news. Broadcast news is dead, but we do it in more intimate settings where we have long-form discussions and we give people time to talk. And the days of Oprah Winfrey are over.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oprah, to your earlier question, which I loved, like, when do you think the last time Oprah spent time with, like, anyone working or middle class? I would say when she was down in Maui panhandling among the victims of those wildfires for them to give money instead of Oprah just cutting a check.
Yeah.
Just cut a check. I also lost faith in her. I lost faith in her back when she was promulgating The Secret. Do you remember?
Yes, I forgot about that.
Australian woman who was like, if you just wish it hard enough, it'll come to you.
Oh, Marianne Williamson backed that, I think.
I think so too. Another presidential candidate.
Yes.
So when she did her Ozempic special, and that was a hit, and she did a second one, and she blamed America for her being fat. She blamed us.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe it.
We forced her to eat.
We're to blame? Are we, the people who have watched you and made you inordinately wealthy, are to blame for your issues with food that you could not get under control with the best in nutritionists and trainers and chefs, and stop it.
Right.
And then, did you see the AI special she did with Bill Gates?
No, God.
I didn't watch it either. I saw the promo, but I thought, here she is scrubbing the rep of a problematic billionaire who's got his own sexual problematic issues in the workplace. His wife quickly divorced him when his ties to Epstein came out. What is Oprah doing? Bathing this guy in the national spotlight so we can just love our nerdy, book-loving Bill Gates again.
Well, so here's another thing. As you pointed out at the top of the show, she built her name on she's for victims. You know, she's for women, she's for kids. Okay. What is the Harris Waltz campaign going to do to America's kids? They're going to allow them to chop off body parts when they are minors and can't smoke and can't drink and can't get a driver's license. They're going to, as they did in Tim Walz's home state of Minnesota, we just did a deep dive. I recommend it to all the audience that hit this morning on this. They're going to allow kids to be removed from their parents' custody and brought to Minnesota for sex change operations without parental consent when they are minors, when they're little. Because Tim Walz thinks that not to affirm them with his so-called gender affirming care is abuse. Where's Oprah's question about that? I didn't see any care shown for what's about to happen to these children in her running mate's home state. Never mind what's going to be done in a, God forbid, a Harris Walz administration. You did not vote for this economic downturn and the high inflation, but you could be paying for it at the pump, the grocery store, and with growing stacks of unpaid bills. Financial stress can be crushing. And one solution could be donewithdebt.com. Done With Debt created new, aggressive strategies designed to get you out of debt permanently without bankruptcy or loans. Done With Debt can stand between you and bill collectors. They negotiate with your creditors to write off balances, cut interest, and stop penalties. And the best news is Done With Debt is accepting new clients right now. But you do need to hurry because some of their debt relief strategies are time sensitive and you don't want to miss out. Let Done With Debt hit the debt reset button for you and make your money yours again. Visit donewithdebt.com or call 1-888-322-1054 now. Chat with one of their debt relief strategists for free. That's donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.